Okay, so today we are finishing our last lesson of our chapter, and then we'll probably take a little science test, and then we will start math skills next week again. So we'll go from science back to math skills. So our last lesson in this chapter is how are some marsh plants adapted? A marsh is an environment that is very wet. The soil in a marsh may not have the nutrients plants need. The plants in a marsh are adapted to get nutrients in other ways. Cattails are plants. Cattails are adapted to grow in very wet soil. Cattails get the nutrients they need from the water. So if you look over here, there's kind of on the side of this page, there's a swamp. And maybe you have seen these plants near a swamp or a marsh. Now, around here, we do have swamps and marshes. And they're kind of like little ponds. But they're really not quite a pond. What do you need from? What do you need from Kaden?
He's calling on the shoe.
What?
He's calling on the shoe, so I was looking.
Where should you be looking at? Okay, so a swamp or marsh usually has water, not a lot of water, but it has water, and there's lots of usually plants growing underneath. It's really like weedy underneath. And you might see really tall grasses, and then you might see these little cattails, and they're brown, and when you touch them, they're kind of like they're kind of smushy and a little bit of furry fuzzy on the outside, and then they have a long end to them. Raise your hand if you have ever seen or maybe touched a cattail. Okay, put your hands down. Raise your hand if you've never seen one. So there's 3 of you that have never seen one. Okay, very cool. Addie.
Oh, they look like hot dogs.
Yeah, every year.
Hot dogs in it.
What do you think they look like, Addie?
Can't remember. On the thing.
Like a corn dog?
Yeah,
like what we had this morning for breakfast a little bit? Yeah, they kind of look like a hot dog or a corn dog on a stick.
And upside down.
Yep. That is what I think they look like too. Carson.
I'm pretty sure that with my aunt and my uncle, we went to his lake, and then my big brother gets one. He picks it up, slaps me with it, and it hurts.
Yeah, they do. They're kind of tough and rough. They do hurt. Okay, now let's go on to the next page. Brooklyn, did you want to share something really quickly?
With
The cattails?
Yeah. So when we were at like a little hotel, it was in like the pond. So my son thought it would be good to put it in his mouth, and then like it all foams up in his mouth, and it just goes spitting out. I believe it's the right one.
I don't think I'd put those in my mouth. Corla.
I think there's one in Grenada.
Like a swampy area, marshy area by your house?
I would just go out and go that way.
Yeah.
And then you would see one.
Did you see some cattails? Do you think? Or you're not sure?
Couldn't tell because it was like a big pool. But I've seen lots of those.
Before. Okay. Kaden.
So once when I was fishing with my grandpa, I cast it out and accidentally caught my hook on
One of these? It can
Yeah.
happen. It's probably easy to do when you're fishing. Yep.
Same thing with a rock if you have
All right.
weight on it.
Good. I'm glad you guys have seen cattails. Now look at this. This says a sundew plant gets some nutrients from insects.
It's
So
like
the
fly eater.
insects are the ones that are giving it nutrients. The plant has sticky hairs. So I know it's kind of hard to tell, but this is the green plant here, and it has really sticky hairs. Think about a plant having hairs that are sticky. And on each leaf, and when the insects land on the leaf, the insects stick to the hairs. And that insect, I know it's hard to see from probably way back there, but this insect right here is stuck on this plant. And that's how the plant gets nutrients. Is that pretty cool?
But like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like a fly eater. It's like a fly eater. That is like a fly eater. It's a fly
Now
eater.
look, this is what Lila brought the other day when she was a student of the week on that Monday. Lila, you brought this, didn't you?
So we technically
So,
already know about it.
Now we're gonna learn about it. So what Lila brought was a Venus flytrap, and also gets some nutrients from insects. And insect lands on the plant's leaves. So Lila kind of showed us when she brought hers, kind of the middle part, right, Lila? And then the leaves snap shut. And yep, and that's how it kind of captures or traps the insect.
It just takes his guts because
Okay, and that's how it gets its nutrients, is by getting that
I
insect.
wonder how they like swallow it.
Well, I don't think it really like how this would swallow it.
it spits out.
I don't
it
think
spit
it
it out.
would swallow it. I think it would just get its nutrients from like its body and from its guts and juices and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, kind of sounds like gross, but
But how can how can it spit it out?
well, I don't know if it's
probably
spit out or if it like
it just
like
lets
fall
go.
out. Lets go and it just falls out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
by it.
Like when it's dead, John, it probably when it's dead and all the nutrients are gone, it probably just like dries up and then just falls off.
No, they open
And
it
then it might open and then it might get another one. Because it wants to keep getting its insects so it can stay alive. It
and they
needs
don't
its
open
nutrients.
that much.
Lila, can I ask you, has your plant, have you seen it get any insects yet? Or probably not?
Like one time.
I was gonna say, have you guys seen many flies or insects around yet?
Yeah.
You have?
1,000.
Oh, good, because I haven't really seen a lot,
I haven't
but
seen any.
I was gonna say, they're not quite out yet.
One or two maybe in our house.
Yeah, but Lila, you'll have to
I feel
watch.
like 5.
Did anyone else find where you could buy these at Walmart?
No.
I haven't looked. I keep forgetting to
I
look.
don't even look.
Well, Walmart.
Yeah.
We go there for
Walmart
grill
and Fairmont,
pellets,
right?
and then we leave.
That's where my
This
mom's
council
works.
getting picked
That's where my mom works.
I'm like,
don't have
what
a
is
vote,
that?
so nobody's there to pick
Word.
her up yet.
That's where she works
So
anyway.
Jackie doesn't know.
I don't know.
She said she didn't have a note.
Well, and you broke it.
You know what?
I didn't break it.
It's probably still in there. Yeah. Do you want to take that down? Tell him that I'm sorry and it got left in here. I tell him I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. Corla.
We used to have 5 of those. One for my mom and one for my sister.
You did?
Yeah, we had 5
Cool.
of those.
One for each one of you? Very cool. Did you see any flies or any
There
insects
was
laying on it?
lots of them.
Lots. Very cool.
I think that was at our old house over there.
Very cool. Lily, we have some more, Lily, please. Yes, Wyatt.
The Venus flytrap looks like one of those catchers from Super Mario.
Oh, it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
I
Wait,
agree.
I think those are Venus
I
flytraps.
think-
I wonder who Mario
Yeah.
is.
Right.
I think Mario.
Okay, Lila.
But it does take a long time to open back.
Yeah.
I know.
Right. Right. Okay. Hey, Kaden.
I have 2. The first one is, it kind of looks like a watermelon inside.
It does. I would
Yeah.
agree. Yeah,
And
it does.
the second one is, we need those at my grandma and grandpa's.
I think I need
millions
them at
of
my
flies
house too.
there, I would say.
Brooklyn.
So, I went to, because we were leaving my, like, gymnastics place from Bluewood, so we stopped at, like, a gas station, and then there was flies after my mom, I want them. But I had my own money on it, I was gonna buy my own snack, but I decided to buy fly traps, and I bought like 4 just for me, and then I always open them up and put my finger in it.
Okay. All right. Last one, Charlotte, and then we're gonna move on. Charlotte, go ahead.
What if the fly like accidentally flies out very fast?
Then it would not get caught, probably, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be smart, right? Okay.
Mine's
Elias.
What if
Elias hasn't shared yet. Quickly, Elias. Okay. You do? Oh my gosh, you need one of these, huh? Yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, Lily just handed out the worksheet. Let's do the worksheet. And then, if we get done early, which it looks like we will because you guys have been working hard, we'll go outside early, okay? All right, put your name at the top.
I already did that.
Mason, no thank you. Mason, if you don't get back on green, you're going to be sitting outside against the wall for 5 minutes. Okay.
Can I put this in my box so my county line may be done in less than 10 minutes
Okay.
tomorrow?
I should have 2 for Kins, 1 for Kinsley, 1 for Aria, 1 for Briley. Does anyone else not have one though? Okay. All right, perfect. So today we're going to look at these vocabulary words that we have learned from our lesson. We have the word adapted, which we have worked on this whole chapter. And adapted means how things, animals or plants change to their environment. And then we have the word environment, and environments where they live. We have a marsh is a wet area, kind of like a swamp. And then we have nutrients. Read number 1 nice and loud, John, please.
A blank insect
Is
an
an
insect
environment.
environment at maybe what?
Blank is an environment that is very wet. So, John, what is the environment we talked about today that's very wet?
Marsh.
A marsh. So, number 1 is marsh.
It kind of looks like March.
Marsh. It's an SH. Marsh.
Like a marsh. It's kind of like spelling the same thing for marsh. Marshmallow.
Number 2, Lila, read that, please.
Many kids
Oh, kinds.
of plants grow in a marsh. Marsh, we just did
A marsh blank.
Oh, Miss Murphy, I know what it is. Can I go up and write it?
I'm going to do it today.
Adapted.
Many kinds of plants grow in a marsh. Adapted? I don't think that makes the most sense. Ingrid? Environment. So the marsh is an environment where they grow. So we have different environments. We've learned about like the desert, the marsh. We've learned about lots of environments. Number 3, Corla, would you read that really loud, please?
The soil in a marsh may not have the blank that plants need.
Okay, so the soil in a marsh, they might not have the what? We have adapted and nutrients. Nutrients, good job. Good job, nutrients.
Me too. How come the paper is white, not purple? They ran out.
We're out of purple paper. I was going to tell you guys that. I was going to see if you guys noticed. Yeah, usually science is purple, but guess what? We're out of purple paper.
I know. Out of every color.
I know.
Can you do a blue?
Pretty much.
No.
Pretty soon everything's gonna be on white because I don't think we'll ever run out of white.
No, I want black.
I mean, green is fine, so just fine.
Right? They're already red, but everything's gonna be
This
red.
is black.
Okay, number 4.
What
Louis, did you read that? You read it. No, you read it, Louis. Go back and read it. Oh, I'm gonna write it in today. Sound out that word. Cat tails.
Cattails are adapted to grow in soil that has a lot of water.
Good. They are adapted to grow in soil that has lots of water. Okay.
Can I read this?
Now, down at the bottom, we're gonna predict. Draw a picture to predict what will happen if this insect lands on a sundew plant. So let's go back. Look at this plant. Look at this insect. If this insect over here lands on that plant, what is going to happen? So when you draw your picture, I should say maybe see a leaf, and I should see some hair sticking out of the leaf because the insect is going to what? Land on it and probably die, right? So if you want to draw an insect on that, kind of like this, you can. But I do want to see you draw a leaf with those hairs, and it's hard to draw something sticky. So we just know that there is sticky stuff on there, but you can't really draw. Okay, but if you want to try to draw an insect, I see some of you trying to draw an insect on there, like stuck, that would be great.